time it's real slow. So
Yeah, yeah. Well, a lot of people are doing shit or whatever.
oh
So
yeah, absolutely. Well, we're live on both StreamYard and YouTube, so just let me, in case there's any lurkers out there, welcome to Rick's Life as I See It. Good to see you all. You know, well, I'm here to talk about anything. Just hit me up. Let me know what you want to talk about. If not, I got a few topics to touch on. But anyway, so I'm just going to wait a few minutes see who shows up. All right. So guess what I'm having for dinner tonight?
what's
Ribeye
that?
steak.
Oh, nice.
So I'm closing at 8 o'clock or earlier because I'm going to throw that bad boy on the grill. You know, gonna have I'm not gonna have baked potato, ribeye steak, and there's a veg of some sort. So I'm not sure, but it's going to be good. So there we go. I'm looking for it. My mouth is watering just thinking about it now. You know, so I had the choice.
Yeah.
I mean, like I always say, I'll eat burgers 7 days a week. You know, for lunch and supper. you know, but I was given a choice tonight, either burgers or steak. Well, I'm afraid the steak won. You know, when I saw, oh man, it looks good. So, so that's about it. Anyway, nobody's shown up yet. Let's see. Let me make sure I've got it as public. Yeah, I do. So people should be seeing it. I did send the email out, didn't I? Let me check that too. Yeah, I sent an email out too. So, all right. We're, I don't know. As I said, it's summertime. So I'm not really expecting a big turnout anyway. And as I've always said, I've had more people listen after the, you know, as a podcast after than actually during the live. So I'm okay with that too. So there we go. All right. So I don't know if there's any lurkers in here or not. I don't think there is, but we never know. Uh, so I'll just talk amongst myself with Rob here for a while. But I'll introduce him in case anybody is in here. Is my what would you call him? My co-host, really, because he's here every week. You know, and he even covers for me when I'm not here. So I can't say he's my panelist, or if you call him a panelist, he's my head panelist. Let's put it that way. So let's welcome New York Outcast. How you doing?
Doing all right. Doing all right, especially for the HP.
You
So
know,
Patriots out there that just, he needs to know how far he's fallen. Always welcome back, but there's only, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, no, thanks for the invite as usual. And hopefully everybody out there checks us out on replay or whatever, hits the thumbs up for you, and enjoys the show.
oh yeah, oh yeah. So and Raphael was first in the room tonight. Good to see you, Raphael. People are slow tonight. It's summertime. It's been about actually it's been cooler today. It only got up to 82, but the humidity was rough. It was high. I mean, because when the dew point is above 70, you know you're going to have humidity. You know, so and I think the dew point was at 75, and the humidity was at about 77 or something like that. So it was muggy out there today. But that's okay. That's what happens in the summertime. I'd rather have it than having it snow and freezing, to be honest with you. So there we go. Um,
Me too. Me too.
yeah. What's it?
Not a fan of the, not a fan of the snow or freezing temperatures. So
No,
I don't really mind snow. I just don't like the cold that comes with it. If that
yeah,
makes
yeah,
sense. You know. Yeah, it's been today's actually been decent. It's a little muggy today. But working outside, it wasn't too bad. With the humidity being somewhat up there, it's a lot of bugs out. So
yeah,
I guess she's lady saying 85%. So yeah, put that off stuff on, sprayed it all over. Leaves
yeah.
like a white powder on my legs, makes me look like I'm infected with something because my legs are supposed to be brown. So you spray white powder all over it. It looked kind of funny, but man, it's
Hey,
supposed to be the good stuff, man. Those bugs don't give a shit. I got bit up anyway. They don't care.
they don't care. They've come immune to all that shit.
Yeah, yeah, basically,
But
basically. So,
is it me, or I don't know? It might be just part of the country. But flies seem to be, I don't know, like we're
worse this
infested with
year.
them this year than most.
Yeah.
I've seen them
No,
worse this year than ever.
I think you're on to something. We had to search around our back porch thinking something died because there was
Yeah, I
flies
did
all over the
too.
place.
I
I'm
was,
like, what's going on here? But can't find any cause or anything. But yeah,
no,
I've noticed a lot more flies too this year.
and I tried to blame it on the dog and everything. But there's more. I mean, there's more flies everywhere. It's unreal.
Good. It's kind of strange. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I had to, well, what, just over the last weekend, I went down to Jersey and back and washed the car before. Came back and, I think I hit like 2 bugs going to Jersey and back. I go to take the car to work about an hour north from here. Come back and the front of the car looks like a carpet. I literally had to scrub the window and everything because there was like even the good Rain-X blah 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 windshield washer fluid shit wasn't touching it. It was horrible. So
Yeah.
uh, yeah, I don't know. I guess certain areas the bugs are pretty damn thick.
Oh yeah.
I'm thankful I wasn't on a motorcycle because you would have had to rinse off by the time you got wherever you were going.
Yeah, and definitely keep your mouth shut.
Oh yeah, yeah. That was bad. I couldn't believe it. I said,
Yeah.
"Holy crap, man!" I literally had to scrub stuff out of the grill. It was horrible.
Yeah. You know, uh, I wonder what it's like up, Patriot in the dark. Where is he? Or even Squibload up in Michigan, where their national bird is the mosquito. You know,
Yeah,
because
I don't
they're
know.
enormous up there. I bet you I
I don't
wonder how
know.
they're doing this year.
Might be
Uh,
why we haven't heard from them.
yeah,
So
yeah.
they're
So
stuck under a net.
yeah, Raphael said Florida swamp like heat here. The Florida swamp heat down there in Florida. Yeah, but
Yeah.
you've got something that I want. You've got alligator Alcatraz. You know. uh, I
Florida's no joke, though. Have you been to Florida, Rick?
have I been to Florida? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I was gonna say, yeah, Florida's hot, man. It's hot.
Oh,
Like
it's hot. This ain't
I've
this
worked
ain't the
down
right
there in
time
the
to go.
winter. Yeah, I worked down there in the winter, and I still thought I was damn near gonna die. I
Oh
was
yeah, me
doing
too.
roofs and windows, but let me tell you something. It's no joke, man.
Yeah, I was
I'd be a
down there.
vampire if I moved to Florida.
I've been during the summer. I've been, in the wintertime. I before I got hurt, I would go down there and visit my boys. That's where they
Okay.
live, right?
All
And
right.
I would go down February, March time, and I'm wearing shorts and t-shirt, and they're all wearing big old coats and freezing. And it's about
Yeah.
50 degrees, you know.
Yeah. Uh, Shit, even in the winter, it can get warm down there.
Oh, it
So,
can, it can. It was warm enough to
something.
play golf, in shorts and t-shirt.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
oh yeah. Yeah.
don't envy Florida in the summer. That's for sure.
Oh no. I mean, what was it? A few years ago, my son, when he got married, I think he got married in. I got to remember. I think it was September. It was late. It was just the summer was ending, but it was still unbearable. You know.
Yeah,
And I've been down there during the summer too. You know, and
yeah,
it's miserable.
yeah,
All you do is go from one AC to another.
yeah. Like I'll admit it, like here it's bad. We've had a hot stretch where it's bad, but I'm sure it ain't got shit on Florida. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
So
Oh, yeah. We had actually up here in this little southern part of Indiana, we had 5 straight days of 93, 95 degrees. No, not a cloud in the sky. And it had high humidity with it. It was brutal. Oh, did I? Have I seen you guys? Have I talked to you guys since 4th of July weekend?
I don't think so.
Oh my God! Oh my God! We got a blast from the past coming in. Hold on, Guns and Barbecue. How you doing?
Whoa.
Cash is king. Buy all your cars brand new.
Uh,
Don't eat salads; they're disgusting. Only
Oh,
eat
oh.
things that eat salads.
Is this Squib?
No,
That's what I
it
was trying
sounds
to
like
be.
it, but it's Guns and Barbecue. Yeah. How you doing?
I'm all right. How about you guys?
Not too bad. Good to
All
see you again.
right.
I thought actually I've been looking in the old bits, seeing you were in there. I ain't seen you for ages.
Yeah,
Yeah,
life's been busy.
and well, that's good. That's good. So I'm glad to hear it. I was just about to give my holiday weekend. It was a disaster.
Oh
Right?
man.
No, the 4th of July. I thought it seemed a bit strange on the third, but I thought, well, maybe it's me. But on the 4th of July, the sewer system backed up.
Damn.
Oh no.
Yeah, yeah. The Not only with me, but because I told you this is um
Like a
two
duplex.
yeah duplex, right?
Okay,
His
yeah.
was backed up too, and the actual sewer thing is actually in his backyard. Um. Anyway, he got mad. He actually got hold of somebody at the rental office and told them they had it better get somebody out here and get them out here today. And they did come. Right? They looked around, pulled the cover off, and they said it looks like it has a pump in there. I don't know how they all work, but the pump had burnt out. Of course, we get blamed for the shit going. The stuff that unauthorized items down the toilet.
Ah, shit. Is
Right?
there a bunch of female items down
No,
there?
no, well, there was
Hopefully
some,
not.
but there was wipes and stuff like that, and
Yeah, no good. No
you know, and
good.
and they claim a buildup of grease,
Okay, yeah, yeah.
right? So
Grease
anyway,
is serious. That'll kill any plumbing. So I know
yeah.
people, they're not always so careful about that, but
Well, anyway,
uh,
they were there for a few hours. They stuck a temporary pump down there. They said that should get you through the weekend, and we'll be back here Monday to do it properly.
uh,
So Sunday, it backed up again. So whatever pump they used didn't work. Well, they came Monday, spent 8 hours doing whatever they were doing. It's working now. But that's just the one thing that went wrong. Saturday morning, I'm sitting here actually watching YouTube videos, and I'm going, God damn, it's hot in here.
oh
You know,
no, not the new AC.
the new AC went out. I
Damn.
I called. This was Saturday, so I called I text the landlord's office, they got back to me. He said, we can't do anything until Monday. And it's 93 degrees outside, right? It got up to over 90 degrees in here Saturday and Sunday. Saturday, I went and spent $20 on a cheap fan at the Family Dollar just to blow hot air around. You know what I'm saying? It was unbearable. I got the fan right here because the AC still ain't fixed. They it ran out of the Freon. It's empty. The Freon's escaped, and there's some pipe. It's not metal. It's made out of aluminum or aluminum, whatever you want to call it. Broke.
Yeah.
And
Aluminum.
he's talking about he couldn't weld it because he doesn't, have the equipment to do it. And so they got to get a new part. So he said, if I can't find the stuff to weld it or get it fixed, we'll put some Windows units in for you. So he brought 2 window units. So I got one in the kitchen, which covers from the kitchen to the living room, because it's all one big room.
Yeah.
And I got another one in my bed, in the bedroom, not this one, but the bedroom. And I sort of leave the doors open. I'm closed it now because I'm doing the show, but I leave the doors open trying to get the cold air to circulate in here. Those things are running full blast without even stopping since they put them in here on Monday.
It's probably not good on your electric though.
Oh no, it's going to kill my electric. I know it.
Yeah.
I mean, right here, I got the $20 fan sitting here behind me.
Yeah.
Trying to keep this room cool,
I mean, obviously, make a difference too if they're newer units or older.
Oh, they're thinking brand new. He had to cut the straps off the boxes.
Okay, you can program them too. So, meaning, have them automatically turn off once they reach a temperature, just like your heater.
I done that.
Okay.
Yeah, but the problem is, I don't think it's
getting. Just stay running, huh?
Well, yeah, because I don't think it's getting cold. I mean, they're not very big units, and there's a lot of area to cover.
Yeah.
I'm debating whether to put the fan back in the other room to help circulate that cool air. Maybe that will make it work better. I don't know. But anyway, so that's that. Now, on top of that, it was, I think, after the AC going down, toilet, the truck. My friend was driving the truck.
No, this sounds a lot like a country song. I was hoping you weren't going to say the dog, because that
the dog was traveling with her in my truck down. Believe it or not, you're going to love this. Down Mitchell Creek Road, right along Mitchell Creek. I told you before, there's a creek named after our family, right? She's down there driving along out in the country. She says the car won't go. I said, what do you mean it won't go? Oh, she goes, it runs, but it won't go forward or reverse. You just put it in gear and it just makes a hell of a noise and doesn't do anything. She goes, I think your transmission's dropped out. I said, well, what do you want me to do? So I tried to call my friend. He wasn't answering. It was actually Friday this happened, the 4th of July. That's right. That was before the AC went out. I remember now because I called my friend and I said, oh, he must be doing something for the 4th of July. Anyway, so I took her van. I drove her van. Right? And I went down to where she was at. Some gentleman came along while she was broken down there, and he got it to move. Basically, I don't think it was her. It wasn't her fault. I think it was mine originally, because because when I go see my friend where I shoot at his house, I mean, he's got to drive.
It was neutral. It wasn't locked in gear, right?
Yes.
Yes. My lady did it with my truck once.
Yeah, the 4-wheel drive got all messed up and all kinds of stuff. So I got it going. I got it home, driving it in 4-wheel low, for about 8 miles, I think it was, somewhere around there. In 4-wheel low on a dry highway. It wasn't pleasant. It was making all, and it was eating gas like crazy. But anyway, I got it home. Sunday morning, I went out there and because we Jimmy rigged that 4-wheel drive system, remember? With the switch, where we bypassed.
Yeah.
Well, the time I got home, the 4-wheel drive and the 4-wheel drive low lights were on. They wouldn't go out at all. And I tried flipping the switches and moving it back and forth, and it wouldn't do anything. So Saturday morning, it must have been, because this was Friday, I went out there and I disconnected the old battery, right? Shut everything down. And I let it sit for maybe 5 minutes. Went back out, tightened it all back down, got power to it, got in, turned the key to start it, started it. The normal dashboard lights came on, then go out, like, how a car starts. And the 4-wheel drive light stayed off. I thought, great. So I said, I put it in neutral, turned it to 4-wheel drive, and flipped the switch like you meant to do. And I reversed out of the driveway. And as I turned it hard, it went, so you knew it was a 4-wheel drive. Straightened it up, put it in neutral, took it out of 4-wheel drive, flipped the switch again to disengage it, and I drove it off. Been running like a champ ever since. So,
Nice.
just call me Ace Mechanic.
There you go.
That's cool. Yeah, it happened with my lady once. So it was winter time, and same type of thing. I was using 4-wheel drive or wasn't, or something, back and forth. And I'm not sure what exactly happened, but she called me up. Thankfully, she wasn't too far, like a block or so away.
Yeah.
I ran over, checked it, and come to find out that's what it was. Like, but mine is all manual. Like, it's got the manual shifter that there's no buttons. So if you gotta like force it to go in, you know what I mean? You can't baby it. You gotta yank it hard, when you want to shift it and whatnot. So I was pissed to get over there, found that, and I was happy. Like, well, at least it's not the transmission or something, or because that's the first thing you're thinking when they're like, well, it's on, it just won't go. Like, oh shit, maybe a drive shit. You don't hear any clunking, nothing. Like, no, it's fine, it just won't go. Like, oh my god, all right, that's a scary call.
Oh, it is. But anyway, that's taken care of. So it's now Wednesday. The AC stew isn't fixed, the actual unit. Now, here it comes. I hope you guys aren't minding listening to my horror story here. The landlord sent me a text when they were. Oh, remember the leaking toilet? They fixed that too here, and they were making all kinds of racket. They put a new thing down right inside, a metal thing, and that metal ring you were talking about.
Yep.
What?
Like a slip collar. It slides in the old opening, basically, with a new collar on it, probably to bolt down. Yep.
Yeah. Then that metal thing you were talking about, that when doesn't sort of leak type thing. Anyway, it looks good.
Yeah,
they got it done.
A metal flange, not a plastic one. Yeah.
They've done all that. Made all kind. I mean, they were in there for hours. But this text comes with pictures. They took pictures of my bathroom, right? And there happened to be a packet of wipes in there. And of course, they said we sent you an amendment back in 23 telling you if anything happened to the plumbing, we had to come out, and it was something that you did, you will be responsible for it.
Oh shit!
Right?
Yeah.
And I couldn't find it. I said, "Can you send me a copy of that?" and they did, right? And it says $1,000 fine first. What do you mean you're fining me, right? But it says $1,000 fine plus you could be held responsible for the repairs. Well, the the text said so far they're up to $2,500 and not all the bills are in yet. So we will give you a breakdown when it arrives. So
Oh shit!
now I'm assuming legally they can do that. I haven't really
Well,
researched it.
did you sign anything
Well,
with
that
that?
was
You said there was
that,
paperwork.
the only thing that's signed is the actual lease, and they
Okay.
call that an amendment to the lease.
Did you
Well, did
sign
you?
anything after that?
Right.
No,
Did you sign a new
Then
lease after that?
yeah, you
no,
should be okay.
but it came down as a what they call it, there's another word for it. At least an amendment, but there's
Yeah, but you can't
how you
alter it.
name. Yeah,
They can't alter a contract without both parties there. Like even like if somebody wanted red shutters and I wrote it up as red, and I get there and they say they want green, I can change it real quick on paper, but they got to initial to it. You know what I
oh
mean? Like
no,
they
I
got
mean
to
this was
agree that
just
they agree to that. You can't just change
Also,
up paperwork.
who was the septic company that came out?
who was what?
The septic company that came out.
That's the thing. They claim the septic company came out. I was here all weekend, and the only people I saw was two pickup trucks with the people I rent off was called Carpenter Rentals,
Uh-huh.
right? There was two maintenance trucks with Carpenter Rentals on the side. There was nobody else here the whole weekend because I didn't go anywhere. I stayed home. You know what I'm saying? So, but
Good news
I
and
remember receiving a copy of this in 23,
yeah.
right?
And you would
And
have to like sign or agree to it if
no,
they
no,
change
they
the
didn't
terms.
ask me to sign anything
Right,
or
right.
paperback.
So legally, you should be fine on that. The bad part is, I don't know about your state laws, but
Yeah, that's what I got to check.
some states, they can just kick you out because they feel like it. Doesn't matter
Yeah,
if you're paying a date or whatever. That's how it basically is here. So,
yeah.
if what people do is say there's a problem and then it gets thrown out and they can't. But
Oh yeah,
anyway. But more than likely, if you don't pay this, which you legally don't really have to, you're not least from my layman's term of it, but you're not legal, so you can get out of that. But more than likely, you're going to get forced to move if you don't pay it.
yeah. If I don't pay it, they're going to evict me anyway. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
but if they're gonna pull shit like that, do you want to keep living there?
well, the
He
price is
does
right
because of the
But here's
rent.
the other thing. Here's the other thing. If they're gonna rack up a bill on you for their own people coming out and doing that, and say, "Oh, it's gonna be $2,500 for them to replace a pump," so how much are they paying these guys? Because I'm sorry, but it's a pump for a septic. There's no way it's that much. A
they
couple hundred
tried
bucks.
the guys here who put it in tried to tell me that pump cost
Yeah, but
$5,000.
They're not. So how are they up to 2,500?
Well, they haven't got all the bills in yet, is what they're claiming.
So $5,000 for the pump, then 2,500 for their labor.
I guess
So
so.
yeah,
I don't know.
but
Yeah,
hold on.
All bullshit
How'd they
on
put a how'd they put a pump in the septic without pumping it? They
I
they,
don't
they
know.
need to pump it out. But you don't
There was nobody here pumping it out.
unless it's a dry pump, which that's half the issue right there. Then
Yeah. Well, anyway, that's what happened. But where I
which
was going with
then
this is,
I would say show me how
oh,
the wipes or the wipes damaged the dry pump. They would have a better argument with a wet pump because then that would be in the shit.
yeah, yeah. I don't know all that. They said they would give me a breakdown, right? But where I was going with this actual copy of the amendment, or what they call it, ADDENDUM. What it says is this will be marked as an amendment to your signed lease agreement. I never initialed this or anything. It's like they've added this to your lease. Take it, or
Yeah, no, I double check your lease. Just make sure there's nothing. If there's nothing in your original lease that you signed and agreed to, then this doesn't matter. Like I said,
so
legally, it's not, you won't be
it's
held to
whether
it.
I can afford a lawyer to fight it. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah,
anyway,
but
I might do that. Depends
they
how
didn't
much
even
they.
have to because they got to prove their case. They got to take you to court, so they got to
Yeah,
prove their
Yeah,
case. So if they can't
yeah,
and
show
all
documentation
you're gonna
that
have
you
to
agreed to this, then
all you're gonna have to do is go and say, Your Honor, I never initialed, signed, agreed to that or anything. They just said we're doing this.
yeah. But I tried to look for the car. I remember receiving it. Right. I do remember receiving this, but when I received it, where it says here, uh, it will be a fine up to $1,000, and that's in big black bold type. The original, which I unfortunately I can't find anywhere, said $500. So they even changed that without telling me.
Oh, the sad part is they probably get a lot of people like this. And then
Yeah,
a lot of people will be like, well, if I don't pay it, then they're going to kick me out. And they feel guilted and they end up doing it anyway. But
well, that's
honestly,
what they're
your
looking
rent
for.
would be cheap. So this company's probably trying to boot you guys to go in, repaint the place, and raise the rent by a few $100. That's
Oh,
probably what it
absolutely,
really is.
absolutely. Because I mean, my rent is very, very reasonable compared to what it is now around here. It's still double to what I mean, when I moved in back in 2018, I paid $325 a month for this 2-bedroom place
That's
here. It's not
unheard of,
big.
man.
It's not
Unheard
big,
of.
but 325 plus utilities, right? So
I thought you meant rent.
my rent was 325
Oh,
plus
Jesus. That's
utilities,
unheard of.
right? Well, my rent 325. My rent is doubled now since 2018
Okay.
because
Even
the old
7
landlord sold it about a year
reasonable.
after I got here, and the new landlord upped it $200 in one go. It went from 325 to 550 in one go. Then it went up
Hey,
another
Yeah.
$100 since then.
I
But
don't think, well, again, that depends on states, but in New York State, they can't jump it that much in one go. They can, like, in between tenants, but they can't raise it in. They keep,
I
like,
guess
one
they can't.
year, it can't be more than, like, I think it's like 100 or, what is it?
Yeah, I'm not sure what the law. What?
Sorry. She's over here and trying to correct me. What'd you say?
You can only raise your rent by $50 a year if you're an existing tenant.
Okay. $50 a year if you're an existing tenant in New York State.
In New York
So,
State, yeah.
yeah,
I
I
don't
don't.
know
So
what it is in
your state
Indiana.
probably has something similar. $200 is a big jump.
Well, that was a few years ago, so I went ahead and paid it, because I'm still here. But
Yeah.
so that's the kind of weekend I've had, guys.
well,
So,
Rick,
That sucks.
and I'm still
say
tired.
I'd
And I'm
also
still tired. What?
I would go in challenging their credentials to uh, inspect and uh, service a septic in the first place. They might be able to change a pump, but to actually say, "Oh yeah, this is what killed that pump," and the septic, this, that, and the other thing.
Yeah.
I say, "Where are your credentials? When's the last time that you had the well tested?"
I never have that I
But,
know of. Now
but that's
the guy who
that's what I'd be going into
repaired.
court saying. When's the last time you had the well tested?
Yeah. And here's
Let's
another thing.
say if they want to play games.
Yeah, but here's the thing:
Yeah,
the guy who done the sewer and the new pump is the exactly same guy who installed the broken AC outside.
mhm.
So
Yeah,
I guess he's an electrician and a plumber.
yeah, I,
He's the maintenance department. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's not prices like that. If it's like an actual contractor, there is markups on parts. So if the pump
Oh,
was
I
200,
understand.
they might charge you 400 for the pump. But $5,000, I think this is ridiculous.
That's
It
not a
seems
fucking
like
chance in hell.
they're just trying to like, I don't know, bulldoze you or something. So
Yeah, yeah. Uh,
And when they take
we're
you to court for it, you say, or the judge is going to say, show the receipts.
yeah.
yeah, but the problem is that when it gets to that, then they'll just throw in an eviction
I
on
don't know if you
them.
guys can see it on the camera, but that was the pump they pulled out. I don't know if that's dry or wet. Can you see it with my camera? With my phone? You looking?
That looks like a friggin' sump
That's
pump
a
from Harbor
regular
Freight.
sub pump. Yeah, that's like a basement sub pump. Like that should
Well,
be like 160 to 300.
that was
If
what was in.
that.
That's
Yeah,
what was in the. That's what they
I
pulled
say,
out. You know,
I've got one pretty similar to that in my friggin' basement right now. It was like $100.
but
see, I got one down there you could have like
that's the
because
same thing. But that's what you use in the sewer.
yeah.
You could.
Yeah, our basement. Well, no, that's what you use like to pump out dirty water. So flooded
Yeah.
basements, all that. You want to drain a
Well, why they
pond,
got it in the
all
sewer system?
You wouldn't want to, I don't think you'd want it in a. Well, here's the thing. Like, I've never heard of a pump inside of a septic.
Me not like that. Me neither. But I figured it's a different area. Maybe they got something different going on. But me neither, honestly. So
Okay,
Because
you might want to call another guy and just to see if they do free estimates and have him take a look and see what the hell's actually going on, and then show that estimate to your landlord. Like, well, because
I,
there's probably going to be a difference.
or
he,
just call a couple places, explain, hey, I'm on a fixed income. This is what's going on. This is what I'm being told by my landlord, and they had their own people come out, and I'm pretty sure they're trying to give me the shaft right now.
well, I was
Um,
debating to call the housing authority for the
State
uh,
or whatever.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, find out exactly what's going on, because then you'll have a better,
I gotta wait to. But right here, this is the
try to.
text I'm reading. Right here, as a reminder. Oh no, here it is. At this time, the estimated cost for the replacement is now it's lower. Is $2,800. But please
Nah,
note, this is not the final invoice. We are still awaiting the complete bill from the plumbing company. They never used the fucking plumbing company.
yeah,
It was
that's some
their
bullshit.
maintenance crew. You know, I'm going to call them on that when the bill finally comes.
Yeah,
You know, and the final cost may be higher once all labor and parts are accounted for. You know,
and if you need to replace that pump, the pump in that photo, there's no way that pump's over $300 because
that's what I was
it's
thinking.
all
yeah.
plastic. Like the good ones are metal, so that it's more money. But
Yeah.
that's one
Even
of
then,
the
they're
cheaper
only
Home Depot Lowe's
Okay.
pumps.
If that, I mean, for argument's sake, say that's the wrong kind of pump that should have been in there anyway, right? And they put the correct pump in there. That's not my fault that the wrong pump was in there.
Right? No, it shouldn't be.
Here's the thing.
And even if you do have to replace it, it's only a few $100 at most, not
Yeah.
thousands.
Okay.
Yeah, and the
Well,
labor
I
for
might
a
have
guy
to.
to go down there, pull it out, unplug the cord, plug a new one in, reach back. I mean,
Yeah.
that's all you're
Well,
pulling a safety tag off the floor if it's brand new. That's all you're really doing. Hooking the
yeah.
pipe up, your pump out, either pipe or hose, depending on how they got it set up. Which anything serious would be a pipe, but I don't know what the hell they're doing over there.
No,
Rick,
I don't. But anyway, that's where I'm at right now. I'm gonna challenge it. You
Rick,
know, when I can't really challenge it now until I know exactly how much they want to charge me. You know.
Rick,
Yes.
call a couple septic companies tomorrow and just ask them flat out. Have you ever seen or heard of septic systems that require some sort of pump? See what they say to that.
Yeah.
And if the answer is no, fuck this landlord, call the state, because guarantee at that point, that septic system's failing.
Yeah, my question is,
They
what
want
kind of
to.
septic does use a pump?
Well,
That's
I
my
would
point.
say if no, then you got a clear case of fraud where they're attempting to do it. But the
Yeah.
thing with
Uh-huh.
that is, to actually win a fraud case, you have to follow through with it. You have to let them charge you that money to be wrong. They can't be, they were gonna charge me $800 to put a lug nut on. It's got to be they did charge me. Then it actually happened. Then it's actually criminal. So if you bring it to them, ahead of time, basically you're going to spook them. Or if you really want to screw them, pay the bill and take their ass to court, and they'll be screwed. You know what I mean? But really, that's the only. I mean, you can do whatever you want to do, but when it comes to fraud shit, because I've dealt with this a bunch. If you don't actually pay for the fraud service, then you didn't get frauded. They attempted to, but you didn't get frauded. And believe
I'm
it or
with
not, that's fine with the freaking courts. You know what I mean? So
you. Yeah.
you actually have to sustain damage from it, if that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
you have to be
It's
damaged.
shady practice, so you could probably go after them as a whole. I mean, for all you know, there might be a class action suit waiting because they might do this with every other tenant they got.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, they could. Anyway, we've had more people show up. We got Shady Hill Homestead, Vanessa's here. Who else is coming? M. Gabriel, Justin here. Tactical Fudd. Ron 2A's here. But Tactical Fudd says talk to Chris at the 740. Is he?
Oh yeah, he does that shit.
No.
And
yeah,
saying
that's
he's not far
all he does
from.
is a phone.
And say he's not far from Indiana.
You know. So anyway, I'm gonna do some inquiries, but there's not much I can do till the actual bill shows up. You know
And
what they
say
want.
if Indiana is anything like PA now, so if you've got to have a new septic done here in PA, it's $50,000 because of the way the septic has to be.
Yeah.
Because it's
Yeah.
got to be like 3 tanks, and it's ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, see, we're hooked up to the, for lack of a better term, every house in this town or village, whatever you want to call it, got hooked up to the city sewer system. Right.
So then, what the hell are you dealing with a septic for?
Yeah.
I'm not dealing with a septic. There's a big green thing in his yard where our toilet and his toilet go into it. Then it's pumped into the town one, I guess. It's like
That sounds even shadier than fuck.
it sounds like sort of like a pumping station. You know, from because these two houses go into there, then from there it goes into the city sewer, which basically is what it is, I think.
Okay,
You
that
guys,
seems odd, but I mean,
yeah,
I guess it's possible, but it's definitely odd. Usually, it's all graded in a manner to where gravity does everything at such a slope that the solids and the liquids don't separate. So that's
Yeah,
what you got to be very precise on. So that's kind of strange that they have a pump on your end when you're connected to the city. Like,
yeah.
that,
Unless they're pumping uphill.
yeah, but that I just don't,
Yeah,
I don't know. It's hard to imagine, I guess.
yeah. Well, put it this way. When I mentioned my landlord is called Carpenter Rentals, he's a young guy. He's in his early 40s. He's a multimillionaire now. He's a big guy in town, in Jasper, right? But if you talk to anybody, Carpenter Rentals is one of these places you either love him, right, because some people, like one of his tenants, the house burnt down. He put him into a brand new place, paid for everything to be replaced, maybe because he realized it was his fault. I don't know, right? And not a problem. But then I get a sewer issue, and he goes. Either way, if you mention Carpenter Rentals here around the Jasper area, you're either gonna get a person say, "I love them," or "Oh God damn." I was down at my foot doctor's getting my feet checked, and I was telling her the problems I had when the AC went out the first time, and she goes, "Yeah," I said, "the company I rent from, you either hate them or love them," and right out of her mouth was Carpenters. Everybody knows about him around here. The old boys I rented off originally were a good old crew, but they were up in their 70s and 80s. There was about 5 or 6 of them in this consortium who owned these places here, and Carpenter came along and made them an offer. They said we can't refuse. Right? Of course, he promised that nothing would change, and my original lease here has the 320. When they took over, it said you're paying rent of $325 a month. 30 days after that, a letter in the mail said your rent's going up $200. So there you go.
Criminal.
That's my story. But besides that, life's been good. I almost wasted an hour here talking about my issues. But I will take under advisement what you said about doing some inquiries on what's actually going on.
Well,
Definitely.
you're gonna have to ask me some other questions, because if it's not a septic and it pumps to the city, like you're just gonna have to ask them and see what the hell they think.
I pay $60 a month for my sewer. Then another $20 to the water company.
So how the hell do they measure it if it's pumping off of that thing?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think they're screwing with you, man. Like, for one, that pump, there's no way it's anywhere near $5,000. No way. Tell you that right now. No way.
Even if it was a metal body, it would only be like $500.
Yeah. And if you're connected to the city, basically, to my knowledge, you shouldn't have any kind of pump like that unless you're like in Louisiana or something way below sea level. So,
well, I'm not way below sea level.
So I don't know how the hell you would have a pump.
Checked. I'm 624 feet above sea level.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what they're doing. And really, there can be a diverter box where his apartment, your apartment, they all converge together, and it goes in from there to the city piping.
Maybe
but
that's what it is.
Yeah, once it hits like the street or whatever, then it falls onto the city. So it seems like he's just trying to pass his issues over to you somehow. And this pump should be irrelevant either way, honestly. Maybe they're trying to pump it out, and they broke the pump pumping it out instead of calling a real company to pump it out with like a 3-inch, 4-inch hose like they're supposed to.
I didn't find him.
But he's using the wrong tool for the job. That's for waste water. That's not sucking up shit and paper. You know what I mean?
Didn't say. I didn't deny it either. I didn't say, "Oh, I didn't put anything down there." I didn't admit to it, and I didn't disagree with it. I just listened to him.
Yeah, I wouldn't admit to it. I mean, there's no reason, she couldn't use those wipes and throw it in a garbage can.
Well, hold on. All they have is a photo from
of wipes.
What, 2023?
No, they got a photo when they came. See, my toilet was leaking.
Toilet recently. Yeah.
My toilet was leaking too, so they fixed my
toilet. Okay.
The second guy came and fixed my toilet while the other guy was doing the other shit. Right?
Okay. So on that paper, does it list what is not allowed to be flushed?
Yeah. It says over the past few, this was back in 9/25/23, this was written. Over the past few months, we have had multiple issues with plumbing due to things getting flushed down the toilets. If we get called to fix the plumbing issue due to wipes, feminine products, children's toys or anything else that can cause a backup, it will be a fine up to 1,000. The original one said 500, but I can't find my copy. In addition to the cost of repairs, this will be marked as an amendment to your signed lease agreement. And they even put it in Spanish on here too.
Yeah, that's not legal, man. Definitely not legal.
Oh yeah, I agree with you, Justin. He said just because you have wipes doesn't mean you flush them. You know?
Problem is, they're saying that they saw them in the whatever the
Yeah.
hell the tank is that they're claiming
Yeah.
is where this pump was apparently.
They're basically saying, and then the email she sent me
Do they have
says,
photos of the wipes in this?
hang on,
Hanks?
let me have a look, see if I got. Did she? Okay, I got the pump. I mean, there's a picture. I mean, there's a picture of the wipes. Okay, hang on. This is a picture of what it looked down where everything is. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that picture? If I known I was going to do this, I would have downloaded them onto my computer.
No, I can't see it. Rob, can you?
Yeah, I see the picture, and that looks like a regular basement sub pump to me.
Yeah.
So
Anyway, that's my
there's
issue.
no way it should be what it is, even if it is justified. There's no way it should cost anywhere near what they're talking about. So,
No.
and
Well, my
the
other
whole
thing is though, if they didn't take photos of the supposed wipes in the tank,
well, that's what I was trying to show you. I didn't see any wipes in it.
well,
You know,
even if there was, it's a shared unit. How can they say for sure the other guy didn't have
just
company or
because they got
something?
pictures of wipes.
Yeah.
I guess they didn't find any wipes in his house. You know what I'm saying?
If your line was completely backed up, they came over, snaked it out, and pulling out handfuls, you're screwed because it's in your line. You know
They
what I
didn't
mean?
snake
But
anything out here.
right, so therefore, really, there's no way they can definitively prove it. So
Yeah.
either way, yeah. So I they're screwing with you, Rick. That's what it is.
I might have to look up to see if I can find one of them. If I gotta, go talk to a lawyer, it lets you talk to them free. Then from there you have to start paying. Might try that.
Barbecue bring up talking to Chris. I think Chris would. I'm leaning out on the ledge here, but I think he'd be more than happy to talk with you about this and can probably give you like 100% confidently, maybe even write something up. I don't know. You know what I mean?
well,
So
the only problem is Chris isn't in Indiana. It depends on.
True, but if he has good visuals of everything, he can get a rough idea.
With where he is, he might know some good guys in Indiana too, especially with where Rick is in relation to the Ohio line.
So anyway, guys, I appreciate all your input, and I am taking it in, and I will do some research, and I'll give you an update next week.
It's been exhilarating to talk about your shit, Rick.
Don't do that. Hey, I told you I was leaving it dead on 8 o'clock. I've got ribeye to throw on the grill.
Son of a gun.
It's been marinating all day. So yeah. What's it? Oh, Rick's Life. See, just tell them you have a lawyer and his name is Rob. That's tactical fun. Anyway, guys, I really do appreciate it. And I never even touched on any of my topics. I was going to get political, too. With Pam Bondi and how the tragedy in Texas is Trump's fault.
Well, duh.
Then I was going to talk. Sort of firearms. I've made a decision. I've ordered them. I'm going to make my own rear bag for my rifle. I'm going to get a couple of. I got some nice sort of thick, tough socks, and I bought some round beads that are waterproof, you know, and I'm going to pour in there and make my own bag. The rest of that, my 308. And it will come with the bag when I finally go, Rob. Just so I'll let you know, you'll get the rear bag with it too. Well, anyway, guys, I've gone through a whole hour of talking about my problems, so I do apologize if you came here to listen to about guns or politics. So I do apologize for that. But Justin Grind, are you denying climate change? Yes. Yes. I am certain this goes in cycles. It might have been before they started doing records and shit, but this is, I think personally, it's natural myself. You know, but I could be wrong. But I'm not believing all that shit because if you listen, you listen to what was it, Al Gore? This planet should have been destroyed 30 years ago. Then that stupid little girl from over in Denmark or Finland, wherever she comes from, she said the world was going to end by 2018, I think. It's still here. Everybody else said the world's going to end. It's still here. So, nah, there ain't no climate change. You know, bullshit.
I think they kind of hijacked the language. So, because
Yeah,
before it was global warming. And global
warming, yeah. Now they changed it because people said, well, like last year or the year before, the ice cap actually grew a few inches. So
you know, I think we go through cycles.
Change, you know.
Yeah, we go through different cycles though, and we know from history that the climate has changed over a year. So climate change itself is a natural thing. I mean, we've had the ice age, all this type of stuff. It's this, global warming, which they've switched over to the new climate change to where
it covers their ass, doesn't it?
We're going to tax you and we'll be able to save the planet. That's a bunch of bullshit. So
yeah.
No shit. If I drop out, it's because my phone died, guys.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm just about ready to do the quiz. Then I'm heading out of here because it's almost 8:00. So, anyway, the quiz and the drawing is on July, the first Wednesday in August. Not July.
Oh, that's not July.
No, we've done July's. Jason won it.
That lucky son of a gun.
Yeah. I had a whole 2 entries. He had a 50-50 chance. So, the drawing will be the first Wednesday in August, which is the 6th of August. So, the question is, it's a real easy one, I thought. I want to know, I got this from Google, so that's the answer I'm going with. I want to know the name and hopefully the year when the first practical metallic cartridge was invented.
1893.
The first practical metallic cartridge was invented. Email me at rickslife as I see it at gmail.com or spottedrick@gmail.com.
I just won.
Get it in. I ignored that, you know.
I have no idea if that's the answer, so.
Anyway, that's the quiz. And guys, as I said, I'm sorry that I took the whole time up talking about my issues, but that's the way it goes sometimes. And I got 2 good people in here on the panel, and I got to cut it short because my ribeye is calling my name.
I don't blame you.
You know, so I want to say good night to everybody for being here. I really do appreciate it, and I hope you all had a better 4th of July than I did, with sewer and AC going out in 95 degrees weather. It was wonderful. Anyway, I will see you all next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern, the only time zone that matters. So, good night, everybody. Good night, Sabrina.
Eat a salad.